Hi, this is Dr. Cheri. Make sure you like and subscribe to get more videos just like this, and so you can stay up to date on what's new. Today we're going to talk about some common mistakes during specific upper body exercises. So the first one we're talking about is the push-up. So a lot of times when we're doing push-ups, you might have noticed sometimes it's easier with our elbows out, or maybe the positioning of our hands. Maybe you have some shoulder pain. So we're going to go over some of the common mistakes that I have seen and how we can kind of correct them. So the first one is we don't want to let our heads drop too far down. So a lot of times when people get tired, they kind of let their head drop down as they push up. Their head drops down. So ideally you want to keep your neck in a neutral position. So think about tucking your chin a little bit and then going straight up and down. Another common mistake is as you get tired, or if you're not strong enough, we see our low back kind of sag towards the ground, so our hips are dropping. So a lot of times they might look like this, or if they kind of do this, and then you kind of shoot up. Ideally, we want a smooth transition. So whether if you start on your knees and keep it nice and smooth all the way up and down, or if you're on your feet, just like that, that's gonna help support your entire push-up position. If you find yourself that you do sag a little bit, it's probably just a little bit more of core that you need to work on to provide that stability overall. So something you can try if you do notice, if you are with a mirror or filming yourself, is you can try what I suggested first. So try on your knees first. See if you can control that motion throughout the whole time. If that's too easy for you, think about engaging your glute muscles by squeezing them together, pulling your belly button in to engage the core. Go straight down and come back up. And see if that helps or changes your form as well. So the next exercise is the row. So there's two variations that we'll go over. The first one is a bent over row. The next one will be a standing row. So for bent over rows, we tend to just be in this position where we're pulling, where there's a lot of upper trap motion here. Upper trap. Or we let the gravity pull us and we try to really yank it, and we use a lot of rotation in our body. So ideally, you actually want to use your shoulder blade muscles here. Think about your rowing back, squeezing that scapula back, and then pull the motion. So from here, instead of here, that you see a lot of people do, especially when it's heavy or when the person's tired, you actually want to squeeze your shoulder blade and then row nice and slow back. Nice and slow, controlled the entire time. So the next one we'll go over is a seated row, or also like the same thing as if you're standing. So a lot of people that I've seen, common mistake, is we tend to use our backs a lot, our low backs, and we like pull, or if we pull an arch back. So the row should be primarily your upper back muscles, not your low back working. So you actually want to pull in your belly button, engage those abs, squeeze your shoulder blades back just like this, and then gently row back. Another thing is we want to make sure that when we squeeze the shoulder blades and row, we don't want to go too far back, because that kind of puts our shoulder in a forward position, and that can cause a lot of discomfort in this region. Especially as you go heavier, we're really loading the pecs and the biceps here when we in fact want to work the back muscles. So again, squeeze your shoulder blades, abs engaged, slowly row back, slowly come back forward. The next one we'll talk about is the pull-up. So a lot of times when we do pull-ups, a lot of people tend to use their biceps more than their lats. So for example, we tend to pull right here versus using the bigger muscles back here, squeezing here, and then coming up. So you want to really engage the bigger muscles back there, because that's what the main muscle group focus for the pull-up is versus your bicep. If you want to work more bicep, that would be more like of a chin up. So hand grip this way, your palms facing you versus this way. Another one common mistake that we see is we tend to use our legs to help us, or like we really arch and kick ourselves up. So when people tend to do it, they kind of go here and then they get stuck and they kind of kick their legs. So here, and they kick their legs. So ideally, you actually want to focus on using the muscles that we just talked about beforehand and actually just downscale it to an easier variation of the pull-up, because you don't want to rely on momentum to carry you up. You actually want to use these muscles back here. So whether that's using a band until you get strong enough where you just loop your foot or your knee and help yourself up. So you can kind of use this. This is a really strong band, and then you help yourself up. the entire time focusing on using your big muscles back here. So you can use a band to help yourself build that strength and that control. And then remove the band, try it again. If you notice that you are kicking maybe after 5 reps, maybe start with less reps and just more sets. That way you can build the strength and to get those muscles that we want engaged to be working. Thanks for watching. This is Dr. Cheri at HealthFit, and if you have any questions, comments, just leave it below. You can always send us a video or a photo of your push-up or row form, and we'll give you feedback.